Good morning to those joining here in person and to those joining online. A warm welcome from Virginia for the Exploring Central Bank Digital Currency, Evaluating Challenges and Developing International Standards convening. It's a first-in-kind global convening discussing and workshopping interoperability standards with representatives from both public and private sectors. We are thrilled to have each of you here representing a diverse tapestry of global knowledge, experiences, and expertise. To introduce myself further, I'm Jennifer Lassiter, Executive Director of the Digital Dollar Project. Digital Dollar Project is a neutral, nonprofit forum focused on exploring digital innovation in money and future-proofing the US dollar in a world of decentralized and centralized, sovereign and non-sovereign digital currency networks. You might be asking, how do we do that? We do this by fostering real-world exploration, testing new technologies that will underpin the future of money, and informing the public discussion regarding opportunities, challenges, standards, and policy implications through convenings like this one. The Digital Dollar Project believes that central bank digital currency should only be deployed once key design elements relating to privacy, security, distribution, and economic stability are properly understood and democratically resolved. We also believe dollar-based stablecoins can play an important part in ensuring the role of the US dollar. As we have seen since the beginning of recorded history, money evolves. Today, that evolution will have consequences for the future of the US dollar and other leading global currencies. It is clear the future will be one where the world will embrace a wide range of central bank digital currencies, private stablecoins, decentralized systems of values, and other forms of money. Accordingly, it is imperative that the United States and other transparent and open societies play a lead role in shaping the standards, design, and underpinnings of these developing systems, embedding key free society values, legal norms, and protections in the process. Many of these conversations and experiments have started around the world, indeed here in the US as well with Digital Dollar Project pilots. We are honored to have you here today to talk about the progress that has been made and the challenges that remain ahead to ensure a globally connected, welfare-improving financial system of the future. Over the next 2 days, we have a lineup of thought-provoking keynotes, insightful panels, and hands-on workshops and technical experiences that I promise will push the boundaries of our collective knowledge. Day one will define the business case for and the process of developing interoperability standards, while day two will provide opportunities to engage in hands-on technical and practical application of our day one topics. Across both days, all discussions will anchor to the 5 convening themes of privacy, inclusion, security, cross-border interoperability, and competition and innovation. And for those joining in person, you can experience solutions addressing these themes live in the FinTech Hub. We encourage you to actively participate, ask questions, and engage in meaningful conversations with your fellow attendees. This conference is not just about what happens on this stage, it's about the connections you make and the ideas you take back with you. So before I turn to Josh Lipsky, my convening co-host, colleague, and friend, a special note of gratitude to our supporters, speakers, and organizers who have worked tirelessly to make this event possible. Their commitment to excellence has truly set the stage for an exceptional learning and networking experience. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Josh Lipsky of the Atlantic Council's GeoEconomics Center.
Well, good morning, and Jen, thank you. And I want to echo your thanks to everyone who has made what's about to happen over the next 2 days possible. And a special thanks to Christy and Carlo and everyone at the Digital Dollar Project for such a fantastic collaboration. I want to ask everyone who is here today and everyone watching online and everyone who will be with us over the next 48 hours to try and take a step back for a moment. I firmly believe that too often at these convenings, and many of us have been at many of these, but this is going to be different, I promise, each of us comes in with a preconceived notion about CBDCs or stable coins and what a specific piece of technology can or cannot achieve. I am as guilty of this as anyone. And all of us forget, or we skip over, why so many in both the public and private sector are trying to innovate in the first place. It is because our global financial system is falling so far short of its potential. We know the financial system could be made faster, more inclusive, more cost-effective, and much safer. We know that. We see the technology makes it possible. We see it happening around the world. You'll hear today and tomorrow from central banks and finance ministries in the private sector who are doing it. The goal should not be to choose any one kind of tool. The shared goal should be to build a better system. And if we remember that, then exploring central bank digital currency, the title of this conference, is a natural question for all public officials to ask, because they have a responsibility to plan for the future of money just as much as the private sector does. Now, when we started working on CBDCs and stablecoins at the Atlantic Council 3 years ago, a lot of people gave us pretty funny looks. What was a foreign policy think tank doing with digital currency? And I think what many people forgot, but they've since remembered, is that money is one of the most geopolitical things that exist in the world. Today, our flagship CBDC tracker is the most viewed piece of research across the entire Atlantic Council. Our cryptocurrency regulatory tracker is a one-of-its-kind database. Our research on SWIFT and the role of the dollar has galvanized policymakers and financial institutions. I am so proud of my Atlantic Council colleagues, in particular Ananya Kumar, who leads our Future of Money work, for creating these public resources which have shown so many around the world just how quickly the nature of money is changing. You can read her new research with the Digital Dollar Project that's just published today. Scan the QR codes and you'll find it. Now, we at the Atlantic Council have never been satisfied to just show what is happening with CBDCs and stablecoins and other innovations. We have always, since we started the GeoEconomics Center, wanted to shift the trajectory in a positive direction, knowing that the decisions made today will impact the global economy for a generation to come. We believe that if the US is more involved in these decisions, as you said, Jen, if it brings real answers and models and solutions to the table, the US can help set standards that protect privacy, deliver cybersecurity, and foster innovation. But let us be honest. The best answers in this field have not come from the Federal Reserve, at least not yet. They've come from central banks around the world, many represented here, finance ministries, and the private sector. Those innovations have spurred public officials to think about fiat in a way they have not done in decades, and I think that's a good thing. And so this conference is not about public officials getting together and talking about standards. And it is not about the private sector meeting and saying there are only private sector solutions. It is about recognizing the reality that the future of money will, of course, be both public and private, and finding ways to work together to deliver that future safely and effectively should be and has to be our shared mission. If we don't, the system we will pass on is a system that has more friction, not less. So I hope we all remember the stakes throughout these 2 days. I could not be more excited to jump in. So let's get started. It is my pleasure to introduce Hatice Karahan, Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Turkey. She has served in that role since July. She previously served as Senior Advisor to the President and an Advisor to the Technological and Scientific Research Council of Turkey. She was also a visiting scholar of economics, both at Harvard and Columbia. Moderating this conversation will be the Deputy Director of the GeoEconomics Center and Seaboard and Gray Senior Fellow, Charles Litchford. Deputy Governor, Charles, the stage is yours.